What's Gucci, my niggas? If you guys couldn't tell already, I'm sick. I didn't think I'd be ending off the year like this, but it is what it is.
It is what it is.
It is what it is. Usually when I'm sick, I lay in bed and do what every single man does. Pretend like I'm about to die. But today, I decided it's time to stop. It's time for me to stand up and fight back.
My soldiers push forward. My soldiers scream out. My soldiers rage!
Yeah, I'm joking. I was laying in bed for like 4 hours before this. But then I saw a video of a trans woman harassing a fast food employee, and that's where I drew the line. I said enough is enough. And I stood up. Immediately after I stood up, I got a headache, but that's not the point. But let me give you guys some context. I used to work at a fast food restaurant. I worked at McDonald's. It was my first ever job. And there's this age-old debate about what's worse, working retail or working in fast food. And to me, that isn't even a competition. Working fast food is quite literally modern day slave labor. To me, it's the equivalent of working in a Nike sweatshop in Taiwan. That shit is fucking brutal, mentally and physically. I would rather be back in the cotton fields, picking that shit up on a hot, sunny... Okay, you know what? Let me not go that far. Let me not go that far.
If them call you a sir, I don't know what they did then.
Because they saw the name on my credit card and they were not being nice people.
Well, I mean, that's all your name on the card card. What do you want them to tell you?
But that has nothing to do with it. There could be someone in the back that they don't see that's paying.
Okay, ma'am.
If you guys don't know, basically what the trans woman is going through is when she went up to pay, she gave the credit card. And when they, God damn. And when the employee saw a name on the credit card, I think it was like James Corden or something, or it was like a quote unquote a man's name. So they called the person who gave the credit card, sir. If the name on the credit card is a man, bro, my voice is tweaking. If the name on the credit card is a man's name, you can't be too like surprised when they refer to you as sir. Like there's no way you've gone through your whole life like this. Like if I had a feminine name and people saw my name and didn't see my face, they would assume that I am a woman. So it's not like it's the end of the world if someone just gets that wrong. It's not that big of a deal. He wasn't being transphobic. He just saw the name on the card and assumed it was a man because he didn't see the person.
So why would they intentionally do that? Can you tell me what your location has done to be trans competent?
I'm trying to understand what he did wrong here. It's not like he went out of his way to be disrespectful. He got the name of the card and he went outside. They do this to like match, to make sure that no one's getting scammed. So they want to match the card with the person to make sure that this is their card and they're paying for their food type shit. So when he saw the name on the card, he assumed it was a sir because the name was quite literally James Corden. If someone is super famous and has the same name as you, it doesn't matter if you're a guy or a girl. They will attach your name to whoever is the most famous person that they know with that name. If they haven't seen your face, that's what they will do. And there's nothing wrong with that. But he came outside, and I think he's being a lot more open than most people would. He made a common mistake. He went outside and he's trying to fix the issue. He's trying to bring up this thing about being trans competent. It's not like he's treating her any differently for being a trans person. He simply made a mistake and is going outside to clarify. He's even holding his own phone out because he's like, if this goes wrong in any type of way and I don't have my own proof to back this up, I'm fucked.
Okay? Like I tell you, we don't discriminate anybody in here. Okay? I'm so sorry if you feel discriminated.
No. It's not that I feel, it's that I was discriminated against.
Oh man, I'm trying so hard to hear her out, man. I'm trying so hard. Someone getting your gender wrong based on your name instead of appearance, that's not discrimination, bro. I'm so sorry. Let's say you tell me that you identify as a woman and I still go ahead and call you a man. That's when it starts to reach discrimination. If I just get your gender wrong based on the name you gave me, that's a mistake. It's not discrimination. Like, my name is Andy. When people see that name, they're like, oh, that's a white person's name. And I was like, I know. But I'm not over here getting, God damn it, they discriminate. Oh, man. What do you expect my name to be, Jaquavion? Like, no. I know that my name is a predominantly white name, so I'm not over here freaking having pitchforks outside with fucking torches, mad. It's like, no, I know my name is a white person name. It's not a big fucking deal. Once they see me, they're like, okay, I'm black. It ends right there.
I would like you to promise me that you will stop treating trans people this way.
He doesn't know you, lady. He's probably never gonna see you again. What do you want him to promise you? I guess she's trying to be like, okay, so maybe you did this to me, but for the next person, just don't let it happen again. But then again, if he doesn't see the person until he goes outside to match the card in the face, what do you want him to do? Just call every person just like it or they? It's not that big of a deal, honestly. Especially, like, think about it like this. If I'm going to pick up food, you can call me whatever the fuck you want, bro. You can call me gremlin, triceratops, call me ugly, and I won't give a fuck. Just give me my food so I can go home. Honestly, just give me my food. I don't care enough to argue with you when I'm hungry. Just give me, I'm hungry right now and this is fucking hurting me. But to me, I just don't know. Some people just have too much energy directed at the wrong things. Like, I understand you're fighting for what you think is a good cause, but this isn't the fight that you think it is. Ah, man, I'm trying to understand her. I slightly understand it, but mostly it's like, bro, it's not, to me, it's not that deep. Some shit is worth fighting over, but this, to me, is not that deep.
How I'm treating you? I'm treating you bad? And I'm doing
Your
it?
staff.
Your name on the credit card is a feminine name?
No.
She's literally agreeing with him. The name on the credit card is a masculine or a male's name. So why are you getting mad that the person reading it agrees with you? You both agree that that's a man's name. If you give the person a credit card and it says James Corden, 10 times out of 10, people are gonna think this is a man's credit card. So why are you still mad if you understand?
Exactly. They're not discriminating you.
Yes,
No,
they are.
She just agreed! I'm sorry, bro. Oh, I'm sick. I shouldn't be getting this fucking riled up. She just agreed with his point that that's a man's name on the credit card. It's a masculine, that's a man's name on the credit card. Yet she's still calling it discrimination. I don't think she knows what discrimination means. She definitely does know what discrimination is because she's a trans person. She's been through discrimination. But this is not discrimination. This is not qualify as discrimination because you even agree. You agree with him. That cannot be discrimination. Man, she is fighting the wrong fucking fight right now, man. I think she's making trans people look bad because most trans people don't care like this, bro. They don't care, but she is making them look bad because people who are already on the fence about trans people will see shit like this and be like, wow, are all of you this annoying? Same words like when BLM was going hard, 99% of the protests were peaceful. The ones that were all posted on social media was all videos of people looting and burning down shit. So people who are already on the fence about black people were looking at them and they're like, oh wow, look at those violent people. This is the type of shit she's doing right here. Like, bro, please use your common fucking sense. Get your food and go home. You're fighting over nothing, quite literally.
Sexuality, whatever it is, and I feel confident of who I am.
I'm not talking about sexuality.
That's what you're just telling me
You
right
don't
now.
even know what we're talking about. So how can you tell me I don't know what I'm talking about? We're talking about gender identity.
Okay, and I'm gonna say this. He looks like he's of an older generation and an immigrant. I want you to understand, they are not on social media like this. If I promise you, if I put a trans person in front of my dad, he's calling them whatever he sees. If he sees someone who looks more like a man, he's calling them a man. If he sees someone who looks like a woman, he's calling them a woman. And that's not out of disrespect or trying to be discriminatory. Just that in their times, that's how it is. Not everyone is accustomed to social media like we are. They live the world in the real life. They're not constantly on their phones and they're not constantly seeing the breakthroughs that we're making as generations. They're just living their life off the internet, off the grid. Especially with immigrants. They don't give a fuck. They're just here to work and go home. You think you're paying attention about all this minute shit that we're doing to make these social causes? They don't care. To them, they just want to make their money to provide for their family. That's quite literally it. They couldn't care less about anything. They don't care about BLM. They don't care about no trans movement. All they care about is making their fucking money and going home. She's arguing with an immigrant. He doesn't care, bro. And I think he's actually being more understanding than a lot of people would.
To me, I'm a male. Okay?
Okay?
So, what are you? So I can call you a sir or ma'am. What are you?
What would you assume looking at me?
Bro, this is a trap. She just laid out a fucking Yu-Gi-Oh trap card.
You triggered my trap card!
On this man. I think he's being extremely understanding too. Instead of just being mad and like fight, he literally asked her, what would you want me to call you then, sir or ma'am? And instead of just telling him because he asked you, she's asking him to assume. What would you assume by looking at me? And do you not know what freaking people who are in the LGBT community say? Do not assume my gender. Do not assume my sexuality. Do not assume anything, but she's telling him to assume. This is a trap. No matter what he says, he is wrong. You are setting yourself up right now. You're setting him up too, because no matter what he answers, it's gonna look bad on him. And no matter what you answer, it's gonna make you look stupid, because why would you not just answer his question?
What are you?
What would you assume looking at me?
I assume that you're a man. Okay?
No. I don't know what the fuck she thought she was about to do. I'm gonna keep it real with you, dog. I'm gonna keep it real with you. No disrespect, of course. You look like a man in a wig. Of course, you're a trans woman, I get that. But you just look like a man in a wig. If I was to put on a wig, that's what it would look like. You can identify something, but based off appearance, that's why he asked you, what do you want him to call you by, sir or ma'am? Because you can't just go off appearance like that, because you look like a nigga in a fucking wig, bro. You are setting yourself up, and you are also setting him up to lose his fucking job, because you're about to say he's being a fucking bigot for what he just said to you, but you asked him.
Okay?
Thank you. Whatever.
I'm trying to see both sides here, but man, I can't do anything but to side with the fast food employee. Even though at first he was being kind of aggressive, this is a pointless fight to begin with. Just get your food and go the fuck home. He called you Mr. by accident because the name on your credit card was a man's name. You agreed with him, yet you still got mad at him and said you were being discriminated against. Even though you agreed with the fact that the name on your card, it is a man's name. So I don't understand what the fuck you thought you were doing with that shit. But yeah, if you don't mind me, I'm gonna go clean my shirt because I've been sneezing all over this bitch. Y'all see that shit? It's looking like fucking cum stains. Goddamn.